You're viewing Newcap Television's The Year in Agriculture. Well, in September, area producers were ramping up their efforts as the growing season was heading for a close. Combines were running as the race was on to get the crop in.
It's your whole livelihood out there, so you want to get it in the bin as soon as you can.
Ryan Gabrielson and his brother Craig are harvesting wheat with their neighbor Glenn Garton. While the county has declared an agriculture disaster, these producers have been riding their luck.
We're doing all right. We're fortunate where we got some late rains and some thunder showers that went through here. Anybody that didn't get those late rains or thunder showers, there's nothing.
His neighbors to the west who did not get the late rains are suffering more. With the clock ticking as the season changes, producers are facing average to below yield, hoping to break even with quality.
The quality of the grain right now is looking good. This is the earlier stuff, so we suspect there may have been a frost a couple weeks ago, so we're not sure what the later quality is going to be like.
This season, producers have also been battling patchy growth.
There's lots of variability out there. One field can be good and the next field you go to right across the fence isn't very good at all. It all depends on timing and it all depends on the moisture that's available there.
Apart from wheat, this producer is also harvesting peas, barley, malt and canola. His focus is turning to pricing.
Wheat isn't great because of the US dollar, with the Canadian dollar becoming weaker and the US dollar becoming stronger. It affects the wheat market a lot.
Gabrielson has about 30% of his crop in. He says he needs another month to get it all done. Given the challenges of this growing season, he remains philosophical.
It's a lot better than we thought in June, so I guess that's the farmer outlook. And grain producers are still dealing with a perennial problem in terms of the scheduling of grain cars. And of course, a review on the entire transportation, a federal review of the entire transportation that was due as well in December. Continuing now with the Agriculture Year in Review, organic farming was celebrated across Canada in the last week of September. We chatted with one area producer who maintains a chemical-free operation.
We eliminate any kind of chemical input from the land, from the plants, from the animals.
Tim Axe and his wife Mairead started transitioning this 1 mile square property from conventional farming to organic certification in 2006. The land has been in Mairead's family since 1966 and the certification process took 3 years.
When Tim came along, he was involved with organics in Ohio. And we talked about it, my mother and Tim and I, and together made the decision to go organic and to go through the transition process.
To produce something organically means that you have to follow the organic standard, which is, many, many pages outlining exactly what you can and what you can't do.
The process is federally regulated and could take from 15 months to 3 years. Inspections are done annually and monitored by the CFIA. Organic Alberta will assist in the process.
You can contact us and we will point you to a number of certifying bodies. The certifying bodies are regulated by CFIA, as I mentioned, to certify according to the Canadian Organic Standard. They would walk you through some of the changes that you would need to make on your farm.
Tim and Mairead plant peas and oats. They also have poultry and cattle.
And when you're grazing beautiful cattle, grass-fed beef, organic, we do it with a management-intensive design. So we get onto a small piece of property with a number of animals. We don't stress the grass, but we go in and we place plenty of manure, and that's our fertilizer base.
They use 6 different varieties of seed in an enhancement crop rotation to build a topsoil.
And what happens is you get this abundant root production, and that's the beginning of you're building your soil.
There are over 1,400 organic producers in Saskatchewan and Alberta. Organic Alberta says some 58% of Canadians are looking for organic produce every week and demand can't keep up. Tim gives us his cost-benefit analysis for growing canola organically.
And they're doing it at $1.42 per bushel. That means if the canola is $5 or $8 a bushel, that's all profit.
He admits the overall workload triples compared to conventional farming. For example, most calves are sold after 6 months, but organic producers take 28 months to get the same size, so it's almost 3 years before you get a return on your investment. Still, he wouldn't have it any other way.
We want beautiful meats. We want beautiful crops, first and foremost for our family.
Well, the increasing number of women piloting heavy equipment in the field has got a hashtag on social media. Women of Harvest 15 is celebrating the critical input of women on the prairies towards getting the crop in.
We'll go until it gets too tough or starts to rain. We've gone midnight, 2, 3, 4.
Holly Collins has been operating heavy farm equipment for 20 years. With the race on to get the harvest done, it means all hands are needed. The role of women in getting the crop in the bin is gaining traction on social media.
I think it was just time that we recognize them and bring the story to light. So, I mean, there was no better way to show that story than with pictures. And a great way to gather and bring all these pictures together to tell the story was through a hashtag.
Between seeding season and harvest, Holly is busy with refurbishing furniture, but now it's combining time and the John Deere S670 is up and running.
It's a hydrostatic drive, so the farther you push your shift, the faster you go, or you pull it back to stop.
The hopper holds about 300 bushels and the vehicle can do about 20 miles per hour on the road. Still, safety is first, and there are 2 other guys on this crew.
The 3 of us, we have 3 combines on this crew, and we work pretty well. We have a rule, all auger is always out, so that you never go up a field and cut somebody off. So as long as your auger is out, you don't have any wrecks or trouble.
Tiffany Martinker says that one of the biggest challenges facing the ag sector is a shortage of labor, and highlighting the role of women matters.
I think it would encourage the younger generation of women to step up and realize, hey, I could be one of the decision makers on the farm as well.
She also sees a change happening on another level.
It might also encourage the agriculture industry to step up and start maybe tailoring some of their events or meetings and marketing initiatives to include more women.
As more women join their male counterparts in harvesting operations, Holly is blazing a critical trail at the end of a challenging growing season.
Out here is my favorite thing to do in the whole world. It's a holiday from the rest of the world. I listen to audiobooks, and I don't know. I think that any woman that can get out there and do it, absolutely.
An awesome job indeed. Well, our Agriculture Year in Review continues after this break. Do stay with us.